Back at it.
Yeah, but today is a little bit different. Today we're gonna start Project Nudibranch, and it's gonna be a whole series about a new bucket list we're putting together, and it's gonna be all nudies. So
Well, the difference is it's not going to be a specific species.
right. So
What does that mean?
well, if we back up a little bit, if you guys have been watching for a while on either of our channels, we're writing a book about Nudibranch of Negros Oriental, Darwin, all that. And we're getting to the point where we sorted it all out and we have about 150 species, which is good. That's a lot. And you know, they're in the book. We're like, this needs to be longer. We need to have more stories about certain ones and all that. So we put the list all together of all the ones we have, 150, and we said, let's just make a goal of 200. So 50 more. So this is what this series is going to be. We're going to start a bucket list of 50 brand new nudibranch, flatworm, sea hares, polybranch.
No specific one, just something we haven't seen before.
It just has to be one that we've never seen.
Yeah, we keep saying new species. It's new species to us that we've never seen and photographed for the first time.
Just for the book.
Yeah.
So that we have 150 species, and it sounds easy. If you just came here right now to Darwin and wanted to see 50 species, we could show you that in a week. But for us, we've been here 5 months looking constantly. Well, of course, we've seen all the common ones, most popular ones, even a lot of rare ones. So 50 ones that we haven't seen, it's going to take a while, but it's going to be perfect for our book.
Starting from now, it's almost 8 p.m. We're doing a very late night dive at Wild Reefs.
Yep.
And yeah, let's get it going. 50 new critters.
50 new critters, and we're going to be hitting up as many dive sites as we can. Night dives, hit those nocturnal nudies and sea slugs. It's going to be an awesome series.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Alright guys, we are still in Darwin, and today we're hitting up a dive site called Wild Reef. It's an awesome dive at night, so let's see what we can find. Of course, the first critter of the night is this little nudibranch, and it's not a new species, but it's always one that I like to film. They're so cool looking. So the fun thing about editing my videos is that I get to go back and react to my own footage. And sometimes, you know, since these are about a week late, I forget what I filmed. So I get to watch it all over again with no script and just kind of react. Take these little flatworms, for example. These guys are awesome, and I forgot how cool they were together. And the one on top that you can see, it looks like he ate too much. His whole tummy is full. I've never seen that before. It never really occurred to me where the food goes when these guys eat, but I guess it makes sense. This little guy must not have ate so much because it's looking a little skinny still. So this is an awesome find, but it's not a new species for Project Nudibranch. But obviously, I'm not going to pass them up. So, wow, this is an awesome new species, so this will be a great addition to the book. But, you know what? This guy was really hard to film because he wouldn't move at all. Obviously, there's two right here, and they just didn't move at all. And when you film something, you want it to move, and, you know, people can see what it's doing. It doesn't look like a little rock. But I couldn't get him to move. I mean, I didn't try to make it move, but you know what I mean. It sat there like a little lump on a log. So this is a really cool design though. It looks like something Stephen Hawking would design if he could make nudibranch. Our first new species for the top 50 bucket list. Awesome. So yeah, if you look closely, this second nudibranch is a whole different pattern than the other one that was right next to it. This guy is just a banded coral shrimp, and I see them everywhere. But you know what? At night, sometimes I just like to play with my Orca torch snoot light and film something cool. And then, what do you guys see here? Do you see anything critter-wise? Look closely. If you look closely, right in the center of the screen, you'll see what looks like a big spiky rock. But that's no rock. Now, can you see something? It's a really highly camouflaged cuttlefish, and he's huge. This cuttlefish was one of the biggest ones I've seen, and he kind of scared me out in the dark when I came upon him. I got way too close before I seen him, and then I had to back up and turn on the light and camera. Now you can kind of see some features, how he makes his colors blend into his surroundings, and he makes his textures look the same as well. It's a pretty awesome find. And he's kind of scary out here in the dark, staring at me. Now you can see him a little bit moving away, trying to get away from the light. But look how funny he looks, just trying to blend into the surroundings. There's hard and soft corals around him. The colors of the sand, everything. Such a cool critter. Then I ran into this guy, and he's also a Halgerda species of nudibranch, just like that new one we found, but it's not a new species. I filmed this one in quite a few dives, but just look at the patterns. You can't expect me to skip this one just because we've seen it before. And who knows, this might be your first time watching the channel, and you didn't see it before either. So of course I had to film this cool dude. He's so colorful too. Of course you can't pass this up. Now this nudibranch is awesome, so colorful, and it's completely different than the last one because it's moving everywhere. It was in a really bad position at first, and I can recognize that it's a species that we never seen before, and I had to get the shot. But luckily for me, it was crawling all over the rock, and eventually it went out onto the seashell where I could film it in all its glory, and it's such an awesome find. I've never seen this one. I've never seen this color. I didn't even know these guys existed. I'm so glad we got to find this one. And on this dive, that's our second new species since starting this quest to 50 new nudibranchs, and it's a welcome addition. It's gonna be awesome in our book. This is definitely one of my favorite critters that I've found in a long time. And like I said earlier, he crawled out onto this empty little seashell and gave me an awesome shot. I just sat there and filmed him crawling over the edge. Here, I'll fast forward it a little bit. And it's just such a colorful, weird nudibranch. I don't even know how to describe that red. It's kind of a dark blood red or something. I don't know, crimson maybe. It looks awesome, especially with the white butt feathers and the fringe around the outsides. It's definitely an awesome species that I'll be getting a feature probably in the book. And then check this guy out. Jeffy called me over to look at this little tiny seamoth. And you know what? Me and Finn, we always see seamoths. Well, not always, maybe once a week. But the goal isn't to find one. The goal is to get one to look at you in the face. They're really hard to film face on because they're so shy. Especially during the day, they'll almost 100% of the time turn around when you start filming and you only get a butt shot. But this guy, I put a light behind him so he was a little bit confused where to look, and I finally got a shot of his face. Look at that tiny little mouth opening and closing. Probably does that to run water over his gills, but this is one of my best shots where I finally got a shot of his face front on. Besides that, he's got a pretty cool honeycomb-like pattern on his body, and these guys are a really cool little critter. And here's another angle. He's got a really weird beak. It's not symmetrical at all. I don't know what's going on. And then you can see why I call it a Pegasus. Pegasus is the mythical Greek god that was a flying horse. This guy's got wings and he kind of looks like a horse. I guess. I don't know. I might have just made that up. I don't know where I heard that. Anyways, he's called the Pegasus seamoth for a reason. Either way, some people think he's ugly, some people think he's cute. I think he's somewhere in between, and he's just a cool little unique critter that you don't get to film every day. And then on this pulsing Xenia, this little flowery soft coral thing, I found a lot of different critters, including this little white crab that was perfectly camouflaged to live in the Xenia. Then I also saw other critters such as this guy, a really white fish. I didn't have any idea that this guy hid in him. I've never seen it before. I've seen other critters hiding in Xenia, but not so many. And then speaking of camouflage, check out this guy. This isn't a piece of coral. This is a decorator crab who put a whole bunch of soft and hard corals and rocks and stuff on his body. It's hilarious. I thought I just saw a walking coral, but he had a bunch of legs, and yeah, it was another decorator crab. I see decorator crabs all over on every dive, and it's always hilarious to see what they decorated themselves with. And then I ran into some of the coolest, most unique little critters that I've seen in a long time. These are called slipper lobsters, and they're tiny, probably about the size of the tip of my thumb, and there was 2 of them. I don't know if they're mating or what. I don't know what one is the male and female. They're obviously different colors, but they got that unique little red dot on their heads. They're pretty cool. I don't often see slipper lobsters. I think I've only seen one ever before this. So this is an awesome find. Of course, I'm glad I get to show you guys, because it's only cool when I get to share it and not keep it to myself. So that was an amazing dive last night. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, we're gonna keep diving all along the coast of Negros Oriental, north to south, and especially here in Darwin, of course. Just trying to find the last 50 nudibranch and sea slug and flatworm species for our book. That'll get us to 200, and then we can finally finish the book. So thank you guys so much for the support. And if you want to support the channel more, considering going down below and becoming a member. I think it's like $5 a month. Goes a long way in helping making these episodes. Or you can go, link also down below, and get yourself some merch. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.